Today I'm so excited because I will bring you along as I prepare our traditional Sephardic Seder with all our recipes, salads, Seder plate, tablescape, and so much more, as the Passover Seders this year are over Shabbat. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Sara Malka. On my channel, I share all my tips and tricks to balance my life as an Orthodox Jewish mom working full-time with small kiddos. So do not forget to give a big thumbs up to the video and subscribe. Let me put on a pretty tichel and let's jump into it. As many of you know, my oven broke just before Passover, so I'm doing this complete Passover prep only using the stovetop. I will have to be quite strategic with how I use my burners. I will start with the lamb shoulder that we will eat for our first Seder, as it is the one item that we'll need to cook the longest. In a pot, I will put the meat with the fat apron at the bottom, add just a bit of water, cover it, and I will cook it on low heat, basting it frequently. For the second Seder, I will make a roast in my pressure cooker, and if you do not have a pressure cooker, I will give you in the description box below how to make it in a regular pot. I will put my roast in my pressure cooker, then cover it fully with water. I place the roast on the stovetop, and I will make sure to lock the lid. I will let it cook on high until it is fully pressurized, or scientifically until it does pshh. In another pot, I will prepare some potatoes to make my super creamy and delicious mashed potatoes. I will add some salt, some water, and I will let it cook until fork tender. While the meat and potatoes are cooking, I will start my salads. I will start with my quinoa salad and follow the cooking instructions on the bag to know how to cook it. I put my quinoa in a sieve because I will rinse it thoroughly until the water is clear to take away all the bitterness from the quinoa. In a pot, I will add some water, some olive oil, as well as some salt, and I will bring it to a boil. Because Passover is on Shabbat, we will eat fish at our Seder, and I will prepare my Moroccan fish recipe. In a pan, I will put my oil. I will cut and dice finely my onion, always using my super tip to cut the onion on a wet paper towel to avoid crying and also to have an easier time to bring the diced onion to the pan. I will let it cook for about 5 minutes, mixing it very frequently. I will place my quinoa gracefully in my pot, making sure that I make a real mess. Then I will mix everything. I will decrease the heat to low, medium heat, and I will let it cook. I will not let it cook uncovered, but only partially covered. The pressure cooker is hissing, and I will decrease the heat to medium and let it cook for 45 minutes. I make a quick pit stop and I will baste my lamb. I go back to my fish and I add the spices. I add my garlic, paprika, coriander. I mix everything together and then I will add my salt. I add my bell peppers cut in strips, and once again I mix everything. I add some tomato paste. Then I add a bit of water. I mix everything and I will let it cook covered for about 5 minutes. At this point for my lamb, I will add some saffron. I will use small quantities at a time. This will ensure a rich color to the lamb, but also a subtle taste. In my fish, I will add my chickpeas, my olives, some honey to balance the acidity of the tomatoes. I will mix everything, and then I will add my fish. I will add my fish one by one, making sure that I leave a space between the pieces of fish to have an even cooking time. I will baste my fish with sauce, cover it, and let it cook for 10 minutes. I go back to my lamb and already the sauce has thickened and it is a beautiful golden color. While it is cooking, I will start another salad, my caponata. In a pot, I will put some oil, then my onions, and I will let them cook for about 5 minutes until golden. I will start my mayonnaise. In a long container, I add my oil, 1 egg and 1 egg yolk, some mustard. I put my immersion blender all the way to the bottom and I start it. I leave it there until I see that the oil is emulsified. I lift up slightly the immersion blender and continue the process until the mayo is made. I will add some lemon and salt to taste, and in a minute I have the perfect mayo that cost me penny compared to the $11 per jar for Kosher for Passover mayo at the store. I go back to my caponata, and to the onions I'm gonna add my garlic and the cubed eggplant. I mix everything together. Then I add my cubed tomatoes, and once again I mix everything together. I add my olives. I add my celery. I mix everything together. Then I add some honey to balance everything. I will add some capers as well, but it is fully optional. You can add lemon juice if you prefer. Then I mix everything together and I will let it cook for 20 minutes uncovered until the water is evaporated. My fish is ready and I will decorate it with fresh coriander and lemon before serving it on Shabbat. The potatoes are ready and I put them in a large bowl and I add some soup powder, 2 tablespoons of our homemade mayo, 3 tablespoons of our cooking water from the potatoes. And here comes the magic. I will use my egg beater to mash the potatoes. It gives me the creamiest mashed potatoes with just the right balance of bite and creaminess. This mashed potato recipe is amazing and my children love it. I continue my salads and I put in a bowl a bag of coleslaw and I set it aside. In another bowl, I'm going to put my homemade mayo, my diced onions, my oil. I will add some sugar, some salt, as well as some imitation vinegar that is kosher for Passover, my parsley, and then I will mix everything. I will put the sauce as well as the coleslaw in the fridge and I will mix them together about 2 hours before we're ready to eat them for Passover. My other side dish will be a pot with fried onions and I will put my green beans in it. I will add a bit of salt, a bit of garlic, a bit of water, cover it and let it cook until tender. That's it. The caponata is ready and I will let it cool and put it in the fridge until we're ready to eat it on Shabbat Passover. I will start my cholent in a crock pot. I put my cubed potatoes. I make the cholent extra special by using lamb for the meat. I add my chickpeas and then I will cover everything with potatoes to keep the meat moist. I add my spice slurry and the recipe is in the description box below. I will fill my crock pot with water, making sure that everything is covered. Then I will place my crock pot on low until we're ready to eat it on Shabbat lunch. The roast is ready and I will depressurize the crock pot by running it under cold water. I will remove the roast from the pot and I will let it cool down fully. And while it's cooling down, I will start my other salads. In my bowl, I put my homemade mayo, some lemon juice, some salt. I will add some diced apples, then some raisins, some celery, and then I will mix everything until fully combined. I will leave it in the fridge until we're ready to eat it on Passover. The quinoa is cooked and cooled and I will add the tomatoes, cucumbers in the middle and I will serve it with its sauce on Shabbat. For the dessert, because I couldn't use my oven, I will do my amazing homemade ice cream and I will serve it with fruits and the recipe will be in the description box below. The roast is cooled down, so I will put it in a Ziploc bag and I will place it in the fridge. I will simply slice it only before eating it on the second night of Passover. After about 2 hours of cooking, finally the lamb is ready and I know it is ready when the meat can be detached with a fork like this. I will baste the lamb one more time, then let it cool off and place it in the fridge until we're ready to eat it for Passover. Thank you for being here. It means the world to me. Know that in my book, you are sensational. And if you're here with me until the end, write in the comments, Happy Passover, so I know I was not alone. If nobody told you today, know that you are loved and you are enough just the way you are. Until next time, happy Passover, stay safe, stay blessed, and don't forget to frum it up.